Hey, what's up, everybody? This is your boy Kenny, and this is Empire Season 3, Episodes 14 and 15. Episode 14 is called Love is a Smoke, and Episode 15 is called Civil Hands Unclean. Again, due to my illness, I'm combining all of these videos so that I can catch up and make sure next week I'll be delivering them on time. But I definitely watched both, so I'm definitely going to get both, and I'm going to try my best not to make it long. But yeah, so let me get started. Alright, episode 14 opens up. Lucius is actually playing the song that he wrote for Juliana called Crazy for You. And he kind of also thinks, he's also thinking about Juliana while he's playing it. So Juliana somehow got to him, even though right now he can't stand her ass. Juliana has left a print on Lucius, and it's obvious. Cookie comes in and she hears him playing and she says, "That sounds pretty good." And he was like, "Yeah, just something I did a long time ago, but I just never did nothing with it," not knowing that it's a song about another woman. At this time, Cookie actually lets Lucius know that Angelo might propose to her, and he says, "Sure, I think you should marry him. But whatever you guys have will never be what me and you have. You know, it will never be that y'all will never have the kind of fire that we had, but, you know, you have my blessing, and I ain't gonna fuck your shit up. So if you want to go and marry Angelo, go ahead." But then he lets her know that, but one thing I want to let you know is about this whole Vegas situation. But then Cookie's like, "But it's a good deal." She's like, "No. What you need to do is need to have a come to Jesus moment with your son, Andre." And he lets her know that Juliana is an evil woman. Next, we actually see that Andre, Juliana, and Shine are having a meeting, and they're talking about, you know, launching this venture in Vegas. And Juliana is saying that well, Nessa doesn't have much of a repertoire, so we really need to get something on Nessa if Nessa's going to be the headlining act. In walks in Tori. And immediately, Tori was giving all kind of shade and all kind of nastiness, you know, towards Juliana. She's like, "Hello, I'm Juliana, but my friends call me Juicy." And then Tori's like, "We're not friends." I was like, "Damn, Tori." That shit was funny. But then she pretty much, you know, Juliana knows how to, you know, she has to give a gab, so she starts talking to her and lets her know that, "Look, you know, you're like one of the bombest producers out here. Well, I need you to come up for a song with Nessa to launch my you know, my Vegas venture." And also the commissioner, Charlotte Frost, who's actually played by Eva Longoria, she's actually coming. You know, we actually have a meeting with her, and if she likes what she sees, then we'll get our license to perform in Vegas. And then she's like, "Okay." And then Tori's like, "Cool. I could probably try to slip something, you know, past Lucius onto you guys. So I got you." And then we also see that Juliana is talking down to Andre because Andre's trying to interject. She's like, "Excuse me. Don't ever try to talk over me because I actually know what I'm doing." And then Sean's looking at him like, "Bro, you gonna let her talk to you like that?" But, you know, Andre right now is all up in her ass. He ain't thinking, and he's thinking that this is all gonna work for him. Little do you know, Juliana got a plan of her own. But then Andre asks her, you know, "How do you know my father?" And she says, "Look, we met a long time ago. It was nothing serious. We just so happen to know each other." But yeah, we realize that, yeah, she's full of shit. Next, we also have a scene with Angelo and Jamal. Angelo lets Jamal know that he is planning to propose to Cookie, and he was saying that, you know, and then Jamal was like, yeah, I'm happy for you, man. You guys should do it. And he's like, yeah, you okay with it? He's like, yeah, man, that whole Lucius thing, and when Cookie met, you know, Lucius, that's over. That's past. You know, she's over that. You know, it's time that she got a good man in her life. Like, yo. But he's like, on the tip, like, she loves drama, and she loves showmanship. So go big with it. Go real big with it. So Angela's like, yeah, okay. That's cool. And he's like, all right, stepdaddy, I'll holler at you. So, you know, Jamal and Angelo were actually cool, so they had kind of like that bonding moment. Next, we have a scene with Cookie and Lucius. They're, you know, discussing. They're pretty much you know, discussing this whole Vegas venture thing, and then all of a sudden they run into Andre, Juliana, and Shine, and I'm like, you know, Cookie immediately recognized Juliana. I was like, we've met. And she's like, not that I recall. You know, just being real smug. But then Lucius finally, lets it be known who she is. But then we actually have a flashback, you know, I think like 15 years ago. Lucius was actually trying to secure a venue in Vegas at the time, and at this spot is where he met Juliana. And then later on, we actually see that that him and Juliana actually do become a couple, and he actually decides to purchase that club for $10 million, and he's supposed to have one of the hottest new spots up in Vegas, and he was about to make it happen. We even saw Bunky was in this scene, you know, Cookie's cousin that he killed in the first episode of season 1. So we know this is like years ago. This is like maybe 2 years after Cookie was put in jail. So all of a sudden, now we see this is the person that kind of kept him away after, you know, Cookie was locked up. He started messing with Juliana, and then Juliana fucked him up. But anyway, what ends up happening is that him and Juliana talking, you know, the $10 million is there. He's about to make this deal. Next thing you know, all these guns from everywhere come at him, and then all of a sudden, he sees that this dude Raphael, who you know, had the gun at him and shit, and like he tells Raphael, like, look, you can have the money, I don't care, just give me my girl. He's like, yo, girl, she's my wife. So he explains that yes, he didn't tell Cookie everything what happened, but he did let Cookie know that he has a lot of disdain for Juliana, and that her and her husband are very messy people, and you know, and that her husband is definitely not someone you want to mess with. He's a big, you know, player in Vegas. And you know, Sean was like, yeah, Raphael was a mess, and he's like, why are you speaking about Raphael in past tense? So that made me start ringing the alarm, and then Cookie's like, I know I met your ass before, but I'll talk to y'all later. And she ends up leaving. So then after that, so we pretty much see after that, you know, Cookie meets with the boys, and she announced that she's about to, you know, Angelo proposes, she's going to say yes. Everyone's cool with it except for Hakeem, because, you know, Hakeem's the youngest, and he's like, I'm too old to be trying to have no stepdaddy. And they're like, Jamal's like, man, it ain't about you, it's about her, and mommy found her a good dude. You know, we happy that mom then found somebody and she's moving on. And then I was just like, you know, I'm behind you 100%, but I need you to be 100% behind this Vegas deal and shit. Little did he know that there's going to be a plan that's going to throw him completely off. But Andre right now is in his mind that Vegas is his, and he's going to take Vegas. He's going to be the head of Vegas, and this is going to give him leverage to take over Empire. So Andre's head is completely in the game. Then we have a scene with Shine, Lucius, and Thirsty. Thirsty is grilling the shit out of Shine, asking him all these questions. Shine gets to the point where he lets him know, like, look, the only reason why I haven't knocked you out of that $2 for $1 suit that you wearing is because of my respect for Lucius. But keep coming at me, you're gonna see me. And then Lucius like, look, if Thirsty's asking you a question, it's because I'm asking the question. So But then next thing you know, Becky interrupts and says that, look, Lucius, you need to come to the studio. You need to hear this. So he leaves, and we also later on we see that he later on in the episode, Shine and Lucius talk on the phone, and he lets him know, like, look, I know, I'll tell you why I spoke of Shine in the past tense and what really went down. But then he's letting someone else in on it. He's like, look, now you on your own. So the question is, who was Shine talking to? Who's now in the circle with him and Andre, and who knows what's going on? I'm guessing it's Thirsty, but I think in time we'll find that out. But after Becky comes in, Lucius goes with Becky. He hears Tori singing this bomb-ass song, and her vocals on her are amazing. And he's like, oh, wow, this is great. This could be perfect to launch Tori Ash's, solo project on Empire. This will give her a launching pad. And Becky drops the thing that actually this song she's writing for Nessa to give to Andre, because, Nessa's going to be the headlining act in Vegas. And he's like, oh, really, huh? Well, we might have a change of plans here, because what you're going to do, Becky, is you're going to actually have this string, we're actually going to put this on the Extreme tonight, and you're going to get Hakeem and Tiana to introduce her, so she's going to be Vanilla Soul. She's going to be my white soul artist on Empire. So we're going to use this to launch her, and, we're going to see where it goes from there. So he's like, he already done cut Andre and Nessa out of the deal already. And it's crazy. Next, we actually see, we have a scene with Tyreek and Anika. Anika's wearing a wire. Tyreek pretty much, in this situation is confessing everything. Not even realize that he's being recorded. Cookie, and that Lucius and Thirsty, can hear everything that's going on. So they pretty much got him taped where he's talking about his plan to take down Lucius and the family, coming after Cookie and all of that. He also confesses that he actually is suspended by the FBI, but he's still pursuing the case. And then he's just like, well, how are you going to protect me if you're suspended by the FBI? Like, what the hell is this? So it's obvious he has a personal vendetta against Lucius, and he wants to take Lucius down. So the whole time she's wearing the wire, but it's a reason why they call him Tyreek the Freak, because next thing you know, he's trying to get up all up in, Anika's stuff. He's like, filling up on her. Then, in the morning when she wakes up, he's all kissing up on her, is trying to get her naked. But she's like, oh, but I got morning breath. And he's like, it don't matter, baby, it's okay. I ain't gonna run away from no morning breath. Come on now, come on. I'm like, oh, damn, Tyreek. Thirsty, ain't you? Thirsty for that box. Next thing you know, Anika pretty much, next thing you know, he gets distracted because he gets a call from Agent Sweetwater. Now remember, Agent Sweetwater is actually affiliated with Thirsty. So Agent Sweetwater is like working with Tyreek, but Agent Sweetwater is actually, she's actually a connect to Empire. So Agent Sweetwater tells him to meet her at this location or whatever. So he's like, okay, fine. He's like, oh yeah, we about to get him. We about to take him down. And then all of a sudden he tells Anika, like, yeah, things are about to happen. And she's like, they certainly are. So yeah, it was going down after that. So what ends up happening is that he goes to the location that Agent Sweetwater said, no one's there, and then all of a sudden Lucius speaking, and he's like, all of a sudden he sees that it's Lucius there. So he immediately got the gun out on Lucius, and he's like, bruh, I don't need you pulling no gun on me, little bro, but I'm going to let you know that, I got you, because here it is, you were trying to screw my wife, and yet you admitted everything wrong that you were doing, and I got it on tape. And he was like, she's wearing a wire. And it's like, yeah, you were too busy trying to get inside of her that you didn't even bother to even think to check if she was wearing a wire. But don't worry, because the FBI is on their way. But you do have an option. Look over there. And it's a bag full of money. He says that, look, I offered you to be a part of the family. You didn't want to be a part of that. So now I'm giving you the option to run. And he takes the bag and he leaves. Question is, what's he going to do next? Because I don't think it's over for Tyreek. Tyreek ain't just going to walk away like that. A person with that type of vendetta and that type of rage and that type of anger, no, he ain't going to let up on a damn thing. Next, we actually have, I'm going to talk about Angelo and Cookie. Angelo pretty much sets up a little private dinner at Cookie's house. She finally comes home, and he pretty much, it looks like he's about to propose to her, but what he does is he asks her, can she come on the Grant Allen show with him, to help promote his campaign, that we can kind of end this whole Lucius and Cookie type of thing, and we can now say that it's really Angelo and Cookie. And she's like, oh yes, I'll be more than happy to be by your side. Now they get on the TV show. They pretty much are talking about the campaign, and pretty much they start asking questions about their relationship, and then Cookie's like, yeah, we're just taking everything one day at a time. And the next thing you know, Angelo proposes to her on national television, which I thought was interesting because that really happened to Phylicia Rashad, and Diane, his mother, is actually looking on, from behind the camera. But that actually happened with Phylicia Rashad because when she married Ahmad Rashad, he actually proposed to her on national TV. So it was cool that they took something from Phylicia Rashad's life and put it in Empire. I thought that was pretty hot. So he proposed to her on national television. Cookie is stunned and doesn't say anything, but that rock was huge. Next thing you know, after that, they go backstage. Cookie is pissed off. She's like, why would you do that? And he said that, well, I talked to Jamal. Jamal said you like showmanship and all that. He said, well, that's just it. You shouldn't have to talk to anybody about any of that. It was supposed to just happen organically, and like you literally just threw me off, and I don't know how to respond to this. And then she finally had to confess that, look, the reason, I realized that I had been trying to right the wrongs in my life, and I thought by choosing you was me righting the wrongs that I did with my father, because me choosing Lucius, that's what killed him. And I can't lie that I still have feelings for him, and that we did kiss one time, but it was nothing. But I can't deny that I still have feelings for Lucius. And then this fool, and the next thing you know, his mic comes off, but his mic is actually on, and he starts going off like, I did a lot of shit for your ass. Like, I got freed out of jail. I did some illegal shit. I even, didn't even report the fact you had a gun. Like, I covered your ass. I did all of this for you. Everything I've done was for you. And you mean to tell me that old slime bucket, you still got feelings for that nigga? And he just, loses it. But then Diane comes in and was like, your mic is on. Shut up. Stop talking. And then all of a sudden Cookie gets a call from Andre. She's like, this is my son, I gotta take this. And then Diane was like, you can take it outside. And I'm like, ooh. And then she leaves, she's like, and he's like, I don't understand. Why does she do this to me? Blah, blah. And then all of a sudden, Diane calmed him down and was like, no. You didn't do anything wrong. That ungrateful bitch played you, and she picked the wrong family to play, because I'm now about to take all of them. I'm in control now. And they don't mess with the wrong clan. And they don't realize that I will burn them all to the ground. So she has now made war against the Lion family. And we're going to see where this goes, because it's about to get live. Next, we have a scene with Lucius and Juliana. She puts a gun to him because she wanted to get his attention or whatever. And They actually, played the scene where she robbed him of the 10 million or whatever. And he's like, look, he letting her know that, look, the only thing you can give me right now is $10 million because that's what you stole from me. And she's like, I don't have $10 million, but you can sign on to this deal that Andre has created. That's gonna make you the money. And if we impress, Commissioner Frost, we're in this. We got a vehicle to make, and I can make you your money back. But then she like cries and was like, I killed my husband for you. You know how much of an evil man he was, and I was in that thing for 15 years, and that man was evil. And it took me a long time to get away, but now I did, and I killed my husband for you. I'm like, bitch, no, you didn't. Stop lying. But she played those heartstrings, and now Lucius has let Juliana back in. Next, we actually get the live streaming of Tori Ash's performance of that song that she originally had written for Andre and Nessa, but now she's performing a song, and Hakeem and Tiana introduces her. And while she's singing, we see Tiana come up in there, grinding and grooving up with Tori, and it's like, ooh, they were just giving lesbian sensation. And at first it looked like Hakeem was jealous, but then Hakeem was going with it. He was liking it. So that went down. Then we actually have a scene where Jamal comes in there with Tinashe, and Tinashe introduces herself to everybody. Hakeem kind of flirts with her, but then she kind of goes off, and then Jamal has a situation with Tori, and he's like, look, you ain't supposed to be around no alcohol and stuff. And she's like, look, I'm not drinking. She's like, it doesn't matter. You're not supposed to be around it. Think about our therapy. I mean, are you trying to relapse? Are you trying to go back? And Tori's like, look, Jamal, what is your little aim? I mean, it seemed to me that you just got all of this aggression or something, like you just mad that I chose to go a different direction than you. And he's like, yeah, Tori, keep talking out your ass. You thinking, cause it's like, well, personally, I just think you're jealous. I think you don't want no one else succeeding but you, not even your father. You don't want no one winning. But my thing is, like, you're the one with the issue, and you trying to make it someone else's issue, and I ain't got time for this shit. So Tori, like, literally got up, grabbed the bottle, and walked up out of there. So then we actually see that Andre and Juliana are kind of going back and forth, like, look, my life is on the line on this deal. Like, you better not mess this up. And Juliana's like, well, my life is on the line, too. What are you talking about? And he's saying, like, look, this better work, because they're supposed to be going to meet, Commissioner Frost. Little do they know, little do they know, Lucius has turned Leviticus into like a casino, and he's showing Governor Frost of what the new Empire of Vegas is going to look like. The new venue in Vegas, and pretty much the commissioner is sold. And again, she's played by Eva Longoria. She looks beautiful, and pretty much, she's set on Lucius's plan, and he also includes Juliana in this. But then he lets Andre know that him and Nessa are out. So not only does she not only get the song, she don't get the job either. And now Andre no longer holds doesn't have the controlling party of the Vegas venue anymore. Now it's Lucius and Juliana versus Andre and Juliana. So yeah, Andre got played big time. So we actually see that Tori is actually performing the song "Crazy for You," the song that he wrote, for Juliana. We actually see that Cookie comes there to meet up with Lucius. She sees that Lucius is kissing up all on Juliana, so she now knows Juliana has now moved into her territory, because she's about to let him know that she broke up with Angelo, but he was already occupied, so she ends up leaving. Tori's singing, and we see that Nessa and Shine are there, and she's like, First thing she actually takes my first thing she does she takes my song, and then she takes my job. Like, tell me you didn't know nothing about this. And he's like, no, I didn't. But if you want to blame somebody, blame your punk ass boyfriend. And then next thing you know, we see Andre say that, look, get the men together. We're about to take them down. So I'm like, oh shit. He's about to get the goons and they about to try to kill Lucius. And that's how the episode ended. But it was fire. Now this next episode, episode 15, Civil Hands Unclean, this was a damn good episode too. And let's just say, you know, there is some declaration of war that's been initiated in this episode. But the episode opens up, it's Lucius versus Jamal. Lucius is working on the Inferno. Jamal is working on When Cookie Meets Lucius. Both of them are working on their projects, and they both are stuck because they're trying to get the last song, and both of them are struggling on both sides. We see on the side with Lucius, Snoop Dogg is there, and he's looking for Snoop Dogg to invest in the Inferno. But he's not really set on investing yet. But he pretty much lets Lucius know that, look, you need Jamal on this track. You know, Jamal has another demographic, and you need that to end the Inferno. And on top of it, he's a part of you, so you need that, you know, in order for that song to work. But because every singer that Lucius has brought in is just not working for him, and he's pretty much saying that, look, I'm not even worried about Jamal. Jamal's doing his thing, and I'm doing mine. And, you know, we see on Jamal's side, Jamal is also struggling, you know, and he can't really get the hook together. And the reason is because the last song was supposed to have been about Cookie and Angelo and Cookie finding new love, but now that isn't happening. So Cookie's like, well, let me go help find this boy some inspiration before I end up choking his ass. I'm like, Cookie's a damn mess. Yeah, so we see that's what's going on. And Cookie ends up calling Tinashe. That's the person she brought in to try to help Jamal get on the right track. Next, we actually see that, you know, Lucius and Jamal actually meet up with each other, and he's trying to get Jamal to be on the Inferno album. Jamal doesn't want to, but the way he does it is that he keeps putting these things over Jamal's head. Well, you know, you are under contract, and you know if you don't deliver this within a matter of days, then you may lose your spot on the label. Like, he just started using all of this business acumen to get him to do what he wanted. But Jamal was like, you know what? Do what you do, man. I'm not here for your bullshit. But, you know, you work on the Inferno. I'm doing When Cookie Meets Lucius. That's it. And you know, fuck it. I'm done. And he ends up leaving. Next, we see that Cookie goes to this damn laundromat, you know, somewhere in North Philly, you know, and we see that Andre's there, and Andre's pretty much, you know, he comes out and Andre's in the back of the laundromat. First he's like wondering what the hell Cookie doing here, but then he goes and he meets up with his mother, and Cookie's like, yo, I don't know what you think you pulling, but this shit ain't gonna work. So, but, you know, let me back there. And then also Andre's trying to block her from getting back there. And she lets him know, boy, I will burn this whole damn laundromat to the ground. Get the hell out of my way. So she goes back there, and she sees Shine and all the goons loading up their guns, and Andre's mad as shit because she's about to railroad his plan of getting revenge on his father. And she's like, boy, you need to get back on your meds. Something wrong with your ass. You trying to kill your father, really? And it's so funny because Cookie know half of the dudes there. She know them all growing up. Like, oh boy, how you doing? How's your mama doing? Oh boy, I thought you was dead. How you doing? Wow, this is family. This is North Philly. This is what's up. You know what? I'm gonna invite y'all over to my house for some dinner. Y'all want some good homeschool cooking? I know y'all want some. And they like, oh yeah, Cookie, yeah, we got you. So Cookie immediately got the goons on her team, and even Shine, because at first Shine was hesitant, like, you know, she's saying that fuck it, and he's like, look, you know, I got a plan. We gonna fucking take Vegas, And fuck that bitch Juliana. We're going to get rid of her ass, and then we can run Vegas as a family. And then Shauna's like, well, that don't leave me. Well, that completely leaves me out because I ain't family. She's like, boy, please, you like a distant cousin. Stop it. As far as we go back, you consider family too. But look, I'm going to let it be known. You know, come over my house. Y'all going to get some good cooking, and we're going to talk about what our movie's going to be. So, yeah, make your way over to my house, and, you know, I'm definitely going to make sure you guys are well cared for. And then you just see that Andre is mad as shit, because Andre just wants vengeance and blood so fucking bad that he ain't even thinking straight. And he just mad that his father outfought him on that Vegas deal, and that Juliana betrayed him. So now he's just seeing blood. Now I'm going to talk about Hakeem's scenes. I'm going to group everything with Hakeem together. Hakeem, you know, wants his name on Bella's birth certificate as the father. Lucius is telling him that, look, being on the birth certificate is one thing, but you need to prove yourself that you are a man and you are ready for that kind of responsibility. That is a life that you're going to be responsible for. You need to understand that. And right now, I'm not convinced you get that. So here it is. He's in his mind, you know, even though Hakeem still is childish in some ways, he has grown in other ways as well. Like, he's becoming more responsible, and he's becoming more aware of his role of what of being a father is. But then we also had this cute little scene between him, Tiana, and Tori. Tiana and Tori in a hot tub, you know, doing a lesbian makeout session. Next thing you know, we see that Hakeem, you know, strips down in his, you know, undies, and he gets in there with them, and they just kind of have like this little, you know, trigonometry session, you know, vanilla and chocolate. And I was just like, okay, Hakeem, I see you. You know, you working it with both of them, because you know that Tiana is bisexual, she likes girls, and you love Tiana, so he kind of remembered what his father told him, that, look, if your girlfriend got a girlfriend, that means you got two girlfriends. So he's like, look, I got two girlfriends. Hey, this is trigonometry here. I ain't jealous. You know, it is what it is. She's like, shit, I got vanilla and chocolate right here. And they both getting freakier than the hot tub. So, yeah, we see that he still got his little sexual, you know, thrust going on. But then we see him doing these video streams where he's expressing himself, and he's expressing himself of, you know, being a man and being a father and being a family. And he actually gets inspired by watching this, you know, family of lions raise their cub. And Lucius is actually watching his live stream, and he's seeing that, yeah, Hakeem is really starting to come into his own, and he's really seeing that he really wants to be a father for Bella. And then he even, you know, he's gonna have like this all-girl party, you know, because Tiana and Tori was gonna go to an all-girl party without Hakeem, so now Hakeem wants to throw his own all-girl party. But then after a while, he starts to think, after he sees the lion video, no, scratch that, we're doing something else. You know, he calls his boys like, "Lo, we got work to do. Come on over." So he has his crew together at his house, and he's talking to the video. Then he does this song where he actually expresses him, you know, being a man, and that it don't matter whose name's on the birth certificate. It's about what you do, because it ain't about just me having my name on my daughter's birth certificate. I'm her father regardless. She's a part of me, and I'm a part of her. And I will always protect her, because that's my cub. You know, that's my seed. And Lucius is watching this, and he's saying that, wow, Hakeem is really growing up, and he really wants to be a father to Bella. Now I'm about to group all of Angelo's stuff together. Now, Angelo, you know, is in his fucking feelings. We see that Lucius and Thirsty and Hakeem, you know, they're pretty much, you know, talking, you know, Vegas or whatever. And next thing you know, they see that the fire marshal's there, and they're being shut down, that they violated a fire code or whatever. Next we look back, we see that it's Angelo, and he's there with all these suits. And he's kind of sitting all posted up, you know, kind of letting me know, like, look, I got pulled, and if I really want to fuck with your life, I can. And he's letting them know, like, what the hell's the fire marshal doing in my spot? Y'all all need to get up out of here. And he's like, yo, you haven't figured it out? Your club is closed for this evening. And then all of a sudden, this little other guy starts with this damn laugh like, I'm like, man, shut the fuck up, Dracula. Ain't nobody fucking even talking to you, dumbass. And they all kind of look at him like, ugh. But then Lucius caught it, and he was like, oh, I know what the fuck this is. Okay, I see what's going on. You know what? I understand, Mr. Mayor. Oh, my bad, Mr. Almost Mayor. So I understand you going through some shit right now, so yeah, you know, you can have the club to yourself, you know, make sure you get them whatever they want, you know, put everything on my tab. And you know, he walked out, and then Lucius like, you know what this is, right? And then Thirsty's like, yeah, they're coming for us. So we already see that, yeah, he didn't already made a move against him. So Cookie, pretty much we see that Lucius tells Cookie, like, look, you need to get your fucking boyfriend, because I'm out to fuck his ass up. He come up in here trying to flex his fucking chest out, thinking he that shit, you know, all mad and shit off some shit you did. You need to go make it right with his ass. And then next thing you know, we see that Juliana and Anika are all in the same room. He got all three women right then and there. And he pretty much says, well, Nico's like, okay, you know, she's like, look, I need to come to the house to get a few things. But then Juliana's about to go out of town, so he's like, okay, well, Juliana's leaving, so you can move back in the house, because Anika was staying in a hotel. And then all of a sudden, Cookie's like, oh, damn, she done moved into the house already? What kind of shit you on, Lucius? She's like, you know what, I ain't even got time for this shit. So she ends up leaving, and the next thing you know, we see Juliana starts making out with Lucius right in front of Anika, and Nika's like, bitch, I don't care. Who gives a shit? Like, so it's like, but she didn't do that shit in front of Cookie, though. Because she would pull that shit in front of Cookie, Cookie probably would have whooped her ass. So Juliana know what the fuck she doing. And you can tell that there is like some serious tension between Juliana and Cookie. Like, you can cut it with a knife. So it's making me think that some of that stuff they're saying behind the scenes what's been going on, there may be some truth to some of it, because the tension is so obvious. So next, we actually see that Angelo goes to confront we see that Cookie goes to confront Angelo. Angelo is dismissive to her, and she's like, look, I can do a statement about what you said on that mic. I can just say that, look, you just said stuff in the heat of the moment. I can clear your name. She's like, you think that's why I'm upset? He's like, look, you literally destroyed years of things that my family had tried to build. You not only broke me down, but you tried to break down my family's lineage. So you don't even realize how much shit you really caused. But then she tries to let him know, like, look, I'm just here to try to mend the fence. But he's like, I need you. But then she's like, look, I'm letting you know, Lucius is gonna mess you up if you keep coming for him. So please, I'm begging you, stop coming for Lucius, because Lucius is not gonna stop. And the next you know, he had this damn guard to try to grab her, and she was like, get off me, bitch! And then Miss Diana's right there, and she's like, oh, you haven't been getting to see power, honey. See, when my family decides to shoot, we'll burn your whole family to the ground. And then walked off and was like, come on, sweetheart, she's not welcome here. And I was like, ooh, like, bitch, she helped your son's campaign a great deal. He wouldn't be where he was if it wasn't for her. And now you're going to pretty much treat her like she was dirt on the street? Oh, Miss Diane going to get her hair cut off. But, yeah. So, not only does she have an enemy in Juliana, she now has an enemy in Miss Diane. And it really broke Cookie down. Next, you know, we see that they meet up at Empire with the family. Cookie lets them know, like, look, we about to clap back and get this bitch. And then Jamal's like, look, that's not an option. She's like, and then Cookie's like, what the fuck you mean it's not an option? Fuck it. Nah, this bitch done disrespected me, old fake-ass Claire Huxtable. I was like, oh, shit. I was laughing my ass off. I'm like, that is so cute. She's like, yeah, like, I'm about to fucking, like, I'm ready to finish old fucking fake-ass Claire Huxtable. Fuck that bitch. And Jamal's like, no, we need to go make peace because they're going to keep coming, we're going to keep coming, and it's never going to end. We need to mend this, and we need to mend this the right way. And pretty much, he asked Andre, do you think what your brother is saying is a good idea? And Andre nudges, saying like, yeah. So he's like, okay, fine. Jamal, go and try to make peace with them. And she's like, I don't know what you did with that boy. He's so damn soft. And I'm like, Cookie, you just mad because she fucking told you off. Stop it. But Jamal did have a good plan. Like, look, let's try to mend fences. So what we see, what ends up happening is that Jamal goes to meet up with Angelo, and he gives them this $5 million check. At first, Jamal's like, I don't need no $5 million. She's like, look, the money ain't for you. The money is for your program. All of these children will get a scholarship to go to a college of their choice. Like, look, you know, I for one am sorry that things did not work out for you. I was really rooting for you guys, but sadly things didn't happen. But at the end of the day, you know, it's about these children, you know, and I want to make this right, you know, because I know your family's going to keep coming, and I know my family's going to keep coming, and we don't need this kind of war. So he ends up giving them the money, and he ends up walking off. Question is, you know, did Angelo decide to back down, or is he still on this vengeance to take down the Empire? We definitely know Miss Diane is, so we'll see what's going to happen with that. Due to the fact that Jamal is struggling, you know, Cookie calls Tanasha to go help him out. She lets him know that, look, it sounds okay, but you need more energy. Next thing you know, we have a meeting with Snoop and Lucius, and pretty much Snoop Dogg tells him that, you know, I'm not investing in Inferno, and my investment banker said that it wasn't a smart move. We come to find out that his investment banker is named Ezekiel Dubois, so he's a part of Angelo's family. So Lucius is mad as shit, and he's like, yo, I'm about to fucking put something in that nigga's ass, you know, if you keep fucking with me and all this other shit. But then that's when she tries to go to Angelo and lets him know, like, look, you need to stop. But then she got cornered by Miss Diane. But then later on, we actually see that, you know, Cookie is like, you know, walking throughout Empire, and she hears this song, and Becky's playing it. And she's like, oh, wow, this song sounds nice. Well, I like this. And then she gets Jamal, like, Jamal, you need to hear this. And Jamal's like, oh, my God, I loved it. This is great. This is what I've been looking for. We come to find out that it's actually Lucius's track. And Lucius like, can I help anybody? And I was like, you messy motherfucker. It's great, because it was his way of getting Jamal to kind of come back on his side. And Cookie's like, oh, hell no, we ain't going for this shit. Like, come on, Jamal, let's go. Next, we actually see that Jamal is actually trying to work that song on with another singer. And then the next thing you know, when the dude is about to sing, Jamal enters and sings the guy's part, and Jamal kills it. And the guy's like, well, I guess you found what you're looking for, Lucius. And the dude was cool, you know. He was like, yo, I think you found what you was looking for this project. Because Jamal came in there with some lyrics and sung the shit out of it, and they worked together and had the hook, and it was like on point. And then he's like, and then like Cookie liked it, and then she was like, well, the thing is, you know, I know you want to be back on his team, but you need to watch yourself because, you know, don't say nothing when he breaks your heart. And then Cookie, and then he was like, and Lucius was like, well, you're the one out here breaking hearts, Cookie. And she's like, shut up. I thought that was cute. Like, even throughout all of this, they still mess with each other. So we see that, yeah, that Cookie is at least on board business-wise. Okay, after that, it ends, you know, the family is at Lucius's house, you know, for like a family lunch. Everybody's there, and then he starts handing out gifts. For what Anika has done as far as helping him, you know, with Tyreek, he gives her divorce papers, and then Mama Walker's like, yes, thank you, Jesus. I was like, Mama Walker is a mess, and he's like, Mama, please. But not only did he give her a divorce, he gave her $25 million to not contest it. So, and then all of a sudden Cookie's like, oh, you gave her $25 million, you ain't giving me that much. You're like, well, Cookie, you're like, I gave you half of my company. Yeah, but I had to work hard for it. Well, I'm sorry if I couldn't oppress your greedy ass. And they just started going back and forth, just like, look, stop this shit, nip it in the bud. And then for Hakeem, he gives him back his Extreme channel, you know, and also he gives him the birth certificate with his name on it as the father. And, you know, so far everything is happy, and he's like, yo, and we got the Vegas deal thanks to Jamal, and also now, and he's like, also we got it, you know, we finally got the song thanks to Jamal, and then she's like, also we got that deal in Vegas thanks to and she's like, oh no, thanks to Jamal as well. Like, if he's about to say Juliana, she cut him off like, no, Jamal is the reason why you got that, because if it weren't for Jamal's track, you wouldn't have got Snoop wouldn't back the Inferno. So now that you got that track with Jamal, Snoop has now decided to invest in. He has now decided to invest in Inferno, regardless of the fact that Ezekiel told him not to. So now things are good, but then Miss Juanita, you know, the housekeeper, says that Lucius, you might want to come to the door, and he's like, I ain't coming nowhere, man. I have a lunch with my family. He's like, no, you need to come now. And we come to see that it's damn Child Protective Services, and they're saying that there's a child here who's in danger, and we had to come and confiscate the child. We don't know where this shit came from, but the next thing you know, we had a whole fucking SWAT came in there, you know, ready to take everybody down if they was going to prevent them from getting Bella. And he's like, hold off, we gonna handle this. But Lucius is like adamant, like, yo, lady, you about to lose your damn pension doing this bullshit. So they literally had to take the baby from Anika, and Anika fell the fuck apart. I have to say, Grace Myers did some great fucking acting in that scene, because it was like they took her baby, and they literally took Bella out of there. So the question is, who was behind that? Because my suspicion is that it could have been Tariq, because Tariq wanted to get back at her because she set him up, or it could still be, a part of the Dubois getting over on the Lions. So who's to say? But that's my review, guys. If I missed anything, put it down in the comments. I'd love to talk to you about it. But subscribe to my channel. Click that bell so you can get notifications every time I drop a video. Like this video, share this video, and comment on this video. And I will be back with you guys next week for the next episode of Empire. So until then, take care.